there was somebody that wrote a letter to the editor, took their time and wrote a letter to the editor and just ripped me, just hated everything about me and what I did as a sportscaster. Just, I remember it had to do with Dan Marino too. So I don't know if I think I said something good about Dan Marino. He was probably a Bernie fan, Bernie Kosar, which I was a huge fan of Bernie Kosar too. Um, but but he just ripped everything, Steve Fortunato does this as a sportscaster, doesn't know what he's talking about. He's terrible at this. It listed, I mean, it was long. I stink at this. I did this. I did this on this sportscast. I did this on this one. I said this on this. I said this one or this. And he doesn't know what he's talking about. It was very, very long and very detailed. And so I'm in my 20s. And my first reaction, right, would be like as a if like a reaction what we've seen of our clients or business owners when someone says something publicly like what the for me I had worked my whole dream as a kid, all I wanted to be is fourth grade as a sportscaster. I was living my dream. I worked, that's all I cared about. And I'm like, damn. And he was kind of right. I mean, I don't think I was that good, but I worked really hard. I'm like, this is my livelihood. And you're going to sit here and you're going to rip me just like a business owner would when someone does that, does that publicly. So at first I was like, oh shit, what should I do here? But then I thought about it. And so I decided I got to calm down, but I need to respond to this letter to the editor. So I wrote a letter to the editor. And mine was in response to Mr. Smith's letter to the editor dated blah, 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 1990, whatever. And I, word for word, repeated, uh, 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 rewrote everything he had written about me, about how bad. And I just, his entire letter to the editor, I put in there as a comment. So again, I ripped on myself, the whole thing. And then my response to that, dear Mr. Smith, thanks for watching. And that was the whole thing, so that was kind of my brand too.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And, you know,
Oh, that's
so,
great.
but that reminds me of current day reputation management, but now it's instantaneous. So
Yes.
I was angry at the beginning when when I read, I'm like, I mean, come on, man. And and I'm in my 20s, and had I had the ability, maybe I would have just said, Sticky, you try going live on television
Mm.
with a producer talking in your ear. You try all that shit. You do this. You try studying and going through this and putting on makeup, and you try going live. And thank God I couldn't, because it didn't exist. So by the time I calmed down, I was able to write my letter. The newspaper even called me and said, because they call anyone when you write a letter to the editor to confirm, is this you? Did you write this? And is this, and the guy's like, you really want us to use this? I'm like, go for it. He's like, they loved it. They loved it
Nice.
because I had nothing to say. So that was my reputation management, was I'm going to be calm about this. And I realize the positive. This guy watches everything I do. Thanks for watching, man. Thanks
Yeah.
for watching. So it's the same
Paying
idea. Like,
attention.
thanks for using our, you don't need to be a wise guy like I was on that, but it was part of my brand, what I could do. So I'm not suggesting businesses are wise guys in reputation management, but what I'm suggesting is you take a deep breath. And I was allowed that because you had to write the letter, you had to take the time, you had to, so I was able to calm down and then decide what was the best approach. And anytime there's that negative, you gotta, if you're one of those, you throw the phone away. Tell someone to take your phone away, don't have access to it, or whatever. Relax, and then come up with a plan of how you're going to respond.